BioShock is a brilliant game, and those of you who have played it know that there's a specific substance called Adam. Now, what it can do is buy plasmids and tonics, but primarily buy upgrades for those plasmids and tonics. But I will see if I can complete BioShock with not only no upgrades to plasmids or tonics, but also no upgrades to my health, Eve, or my weapons. I woke up on a plane which immediately crashed, and I'm sure every single passenger on that plane had survived with no fatal injuries. And then I headed towards a lighthouse. At the bottom of that lighthouse, I found a spherical submarine, which I rowed down into Rapture. I feel like now is a good time to explain some ground rules of the challenge. So first of all, the power to the people station gives me weapon upgrades, so I can't use that. I cannot buy any upgrades from the Gatherer's Gardens, those being health upgrades, Eve upgrades, tonic upgrades and plasmid upgrades. So yeah, and if I do manage to get an upgrade by accident or on purpose somehow, I am strictly forbidden from using that plasmid, tonic, or weapon. But if I somehow manage to upgrade my health or Eve, then it's challenge over. On the inside of Rapture, I witnessed a murder in which I tried to call the police, but instead of the police picking up, some Irish dude picked up instead. He says his name's Atlas and I need to save his family, like I know who that is. But eventually the murderer was brought down to justice thanks to Atlas. And now I've picked up arguably the most useful weapon of this challenge, the wrench. And the reason I say that is because the wrench cannot and will not be upgraded. It was here when I got into my first fight. That was easy because I am on easy. I played with an animation glitch for way too long. It was fun but very time consuming. After catching a glimpse of Mr. Bubbles, I used my newfound electrical powers to open a door magically. After the plane crashed through the glass corridor, I thought about doing a plasmid only challenge because, you know, a sequel based on the Vigor only challenge in BioShock Infinite, but this part were to prove me wrong. Out of this elevator came my greatest fear in BioShock Infinite. You'll understand why if you watch that video. I'd obtained my first of many guns, in the shape of a pistol. I'd found a little girl, then witnessed the power of Mr. Bubbles. Now, this looks like an excruciatingly painful death, but trust me, this is nothing compared to what you're about to see. I put a toaster in the tub, to be metaphorical, and then put more toasters in the tub, to be even more metaphorical. Then I used a speedrunning glitch, so I could not come face to screen with Andrew Ryan. In Medical Pavilion, I hacked a security turret, then immediately disabled it, because reasons. Oh yeah, and one more thing that I didn't cover in the ground rules part, was I cannot buy any plasmid or tonic slots, so yeah, that'd help. And while we're on the topic of plasmids and tonics, I left an evidence clip in the description, which is basically a montage of me just using the Gatherer's Gardens machine to prove that I didn't buy any upgrades. So yeah, and this time it will actually be there, so don't you guys worry. But back to the game. Inside Medical Pavilion I found a ghost which was trying to knock on a door, but of course it doesn't know how to knock on a door, so I had to help it with that. Afterwards I'd found a crematorium. Now, what would you bet that ghost I saw came from the corpse I just found? But that doesn't matter. What does matter is I have an unupgraded tonic. Therefore, I can use it. And also, I found armor-piercing rounds. Now, I can use armor-piercing rounds. You may count them as an upgrade, but I just see them as an easier solution to an already difficult problem. But I can use them as long as the weapon itself is not upgraded. And then I got my hands on Incinerate, yet another plasmid. But you see, the thing is, this is essentially the BioShock 1 version of Devil's Kiss. it sets people on fire, pretty badly as well, as you can probably see from the footage. I obtained a shotgun which I used to blast people's heads off, and now I have come across the biggest dilemma of the challenge. Telekinesis. What should I swap out, and what should I keep? Eventually I swap it out with Electrobolt, because I don't really hack that much. A demented doctor delivered drones to my location, but I easily killed them. And the turret too. I activated an alarm. This would normally be nothing, but the thing is, I've got to fight Dr. Steinman soon, and I don't want robots just coming and blasting me with bullets. But I didn't care at the time, because I just love murdering maniacs or being made me's cheese by weasels. While being mauled by turrets, I took a look at Dr. Steinman's artwork. It's abstract, to say the least, but I didn't like it, so I killed him because of it. The Dr. Steinman boss fight was just like the Lady Comstock boss fight in Bioshock Infinite, in the respect that they were both ridiculously easy. But then again, I was on easy difficulty for both of them. I found the dead Big Daddy, and hey look, it's that little girl we found earlier. Wonder what she's doing here. Man got shot, girl got rescued, man bought armored shell. Now for the record, I will not document every time I go to a Gatherer's Gardens. If you want that evidence, there's a link in the description, as I just stated a few minutes ago. Those of you who have played Bioshock, you know what time it is. Big Daddy time! As you could tell from how excited I was in that last clip, what I didn't realise was how easy it was going to be. Only literally 4 shotgun shells, and I prepared so much for it. Anyway, I rescued the little sister and all was well. After taking on the monumental task of killing a Big Daddy, I put the security key in the thing and then went to Port Neptune. The fight with the rosy Big Daddy and Neptune's bounty was definitely harder, but still no challenge. I'd rescued my 3rd little sister in a row, then got a radio message from Tenenbaum saying thank you for rescuing the 3rd little sister, and then got a present. I talked to Peach Wilkins, and then fought a spider splicer for the very first time. It wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy either, especially with the help of Peach's security bots, which I later disabled. Now, I purposefully left the grenade launcher on the conveyor belt because I'll need that a little bit later on. I killed a nitro splicer in 1 hit, and killed a leadhead in 2. I'd fought a rosy Big Daddy, while simultaneously fighting a leadhead splicer, while also fighting a rocket turret all at the same time. And then I rescued the little sister. I'd found the research camera in order to take 3 separate pictures of spider splicers, and I decided to allow myself to use the research camera whenever I pleased, because I wouldn't classify it as upgrading, I would just classify it as weakening the enemy. I took a picture of 1, 2, and 3 spider splicers for the sake of research. I'd also managed to get a tonic by taking a picture of a leadhead splicer. A tonic was just lying there, so I had to grab it. Remember how I said I had to leave the grenade launcher there? Well, this is why I had to leave it there, so that I could use it against Peach Wilkins in his boss fight. I took a photo of Peach Wilkins, then murdered him in cold blood. Not really, he was throwing Molotovs at me. I almost upgraded a weapon, then realised that the challenge was to do the exact opposite, so I barraged it with Incinerate. I saw my family for a brief period of time, then went one-on-one with a turret. I talked to Andrew Ryan, then talked to Atlas, then watched his family blow up in a submarine.